sisters, Libby and Abby, were always together.
They played volleyball together.
They've never really gotten in any fights.
They were both in band. We both played the alto sax.
They liked going out and playing softball.
They were super close. One of our bumper stickers says, "Best friends who earn their wings together." They were very, very good friends.
Abby spent the night with us on the night of the 12th because the girls were out of school.
We had a movie night and ate pizza. The next day, Libby asked if I would take them to High Bridge.
The Monon Bridge is an abandoned railroad bridge. It's just a local historical point.
When I dropped them off, it was just like any other time I dropped them off to go to the trails. I just said goodbye and told Libby I loved her and that I'd see her when I got home.
Her dad called Libby at 3:11 to tell them he was getting close to the pickup point, and she didn't answer. He got there and he called him again, and she did not answer, so he walked down towards the bridge looking for them. By 3:30, he called me and said, "Libby's not answering. Could you guys try getting a hold of her?" I called Mike at work and said, "We have a problem," and he said, "I'll meet you there."
When I heard that they were missing, I just figured Libby had lost track of time and her phone died.
I had a couple of missed calls. It was Becky saying that we need to go to the sheriff's department.
Everybody was pitching in, fire department, the local police, the sheriff. People were walking around the trails.
The sheriff asked to see if the girls had posted anything recently. That was when the first photo came up, stating that they had been at the bridge, and the photo was taken about 2:07. At midnight, the police did call the search off for the evening.
We started searching again in the early morning.
It was a whole array of folks, friends, family, everybody.
Sometime around noon, we found the girls.
We heard them yell up the hill that they'd found them. One of my family members fall to the ground, and he was crying. I didn't know what to think.
I kept asking them to let me go there. They wouldn't let me.
The pastor came and found me. He said they found the girls, and they didn't make it.
Well, as I said earlier, Liberty recorded chilling images and audio on her cell phone of a man ordering the girls down the hill.
Libby did get a video of the guy secretly. You could hear him telling the girls to go down the hill.
We assume he's referring to at the end of the trail.
We have listened to it over and over and over. If we were to hear it, I'm sure we would know it.
When I hear the voice, I try to remember the people I've seen or the people that I've heard talk to me and try to figure out if I've ever heard it before.
It's been the 10-month mark, and we still have not located the person who did this.
We don't go anywhere. We don't do anything that we aren't looking for this guy.
We have a hole in our family now.
There are days that I would just rather not be here, have it go away.
Losing Libby has been devastating.
I carry her book bag to school. I think Libby's with me every day.
My fear is that we could be here 10 years from now and we won't know what happened or why.
I miss having my secret keeper and my best friend.
Well, I'm so glad to meet y'all. And like so many people in the interviews and tapes have been said, I'm so sorry for your loss. It's not the natural order of things for us to bury our children. How are you dealing with this day to day?
We take it day by day. We are doing everything that we can to help the law enforcement. We aren't the type of people to just sit around, so we have tried to spread the word. We send flyers to people. Our goal right now is to get his face out there everywhere, in every town, that he can't go into a single town that his face isn't staring at him.
At 4 o'clock, you went to the trails, right?
My son, who was picking Libby up, called me and said she's not answering the phone. And that was at 3:30, so my daughter and I both kept calling and messaging and texting Libby, and there was no answer. So it was just about 4 o'clock, I called my husband at work and said, Libby's not answering her phone, they're out at the trails, there's something wrong.
What did you think had happened at that point?
We probably figured that maybe they fell or got hurt or something, maybe that they just couldn't, or lost her phone. You know, maybe they fell and the phone came out of her hand or something and couldn't answer. So we were just looking for them laying somewhere.
So you called the police at 5 o'clock?
It was a little after 5.
A little after 5, I called the police.
Okay.
We'd been searching as a family, couldn't find anything, and thought, okay, it's going to start getting dark. Let's get the police involved here. And they immediately came out in force, started walking the trails with us, looking for the girls.
And so by 6 o'clock, there's a search underway, right? You said a lot of people came out.
Yeah. Most of the town was out. People were out all over the streets of Delphi, flashlights, walking, just groups, and hundreds of people seem to be coming out to help us look.
Well, here's the audio Libby captured. Let's listen to this carefully.
Downhill.
Now that's us repeating it, so you can hear it. Do you hear it? Down the hill, down the hill, down the hill. It was only said once, but we're repeating it so you can hear it. Play that one more time if you can.
Downhill.
Okay. And they, in fact, were found down the hill.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
As chilling as it is to hear, that may have been him ordering them to get away where anybody could see them, to get down the hill. How would they respond to someone telling them, get down the hill? What level of threat would they have to be facing to comply? What would you predict from them?
Something else put them in a position of vulnerability, whatever that was. And I don't know because I wasn't there. You know what I mean? We don't have that piece of information. Was it a gun? Was it a knife? Was it some sort of weapon? In my opinion, or the girls, they'd say, oh, I'm not going down the hill. Are you crazy? Something, in my opinion, put them in a position where they felt threatened for their lives.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because we've got 2 girls and 1 perpetrator, and these girls are grown enough to be, they're not little children, they're grown enough to, fight or run away. And I'm so fascinated by the fact that Liberty had the wherewithal to take this picture and make this recording, and that neither of them left the other side. They stayed together.
Very strongly. That's exactly what it was. That should have the opportunity presented itself. They didn't. We don't know that it did, but we feel very strongly, and we've said that amongst ourselves and our families. The girls being how they were, cared for and looked after others, and it would have been very much their personality. Like we said to begin with, if the girls had gotten lost and were off the trail, the theory of stick together that's what they would have done. If one or the other had fallen and broken a leg, they would have stayed together until somebody found them. Neither of them had a good sense of direction either. We knew that they would have got lost even farther.
Were they found near a trail? I mean, there are trails, as you say, that go all through here. Were they found near a trail? How far off of a trail?
No. Where they were was at the end of the trail system.
I see.
They were found
They were right up against the private property.
Right.
Yes.
So, but they were found within half a mile of where they were at the end of the bridge there.
I see.
I'm wearing Libby's hat and sweater that she wore last year at the Christmas parade.
It's great to see the softball girls wanting to do something special for them, to remember them. They're not letting them be forgotten.
It's kind of thanking our community for all they've done for us.
A few years ago, Libby was in the parade as a baton twirler. You would have never thought that the next time she was in the parade would be this way. So it was a pretty bittersweet moment.
She is here with all of us today.
Superintendent Douglas Carter is here from the Indiana State Police. And when this happened and these girls went missing, law enforcement really sprung into action here and started searching for these girls immediately, correct?
They did.
And when you look at the area around there, what's the most likely way for this person to have gotten away? Would he have gotten away by car, by foot? What's the most likely way for him to have gotten away?
Dr. Phil, right now, it'd be speculative of us to try and figure out how he got there or where he went after this occurred. But I certainly hope in my lifetime I can look him in the eyes and ask him that same question.
You know, sometime between 2:07, when that last Snapchat post was put up, and by the time family members started showing up and everybody started showing up, there's a window in there between probably around 2:30 and 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, somewhere in there. This man had to be making his departure, and hopefully somebody think about that. Think about that time on February 13th, 2017, between 2:30 and 4 o'clock-ish. If you're anywhere in that vicinity, if you saw anything on foot, in a car, whatever, you want to know it, right?
I so appreciate you saying that way, because that is actually what happened afterwards. We started to canvass the city of Delphi and the areas on the same day that the crime occurred. And we stopped cars and asked them, and please tell us if you saw anything suspicious, anything at all. But please remember, this is not unlike any other rural community anywhere in America. It's not a typical a trailhead where there's a great big parking area where people come and go from a central place. It's accessible from multiple areas, multiple places in a very rural area.
Yeah.
So it does set it apart. It makes it a little bit different.
Yeah. Now, I grew up in small towns, I mean, like y'all are living in, and if somebody showed up that didn't belong, you stuck out like a sore thumb, because you knew everybody and everybody knew. And then if some transient showed up, they just stuck out like a sore thumb. Did anybody in town see this person before in the week leading up to, or any time?
We believe that the sketch that you see behind you was a face-to-face encounter with a citizen of Delphi.
Okay. So you think that actually somebody interacted with him, talked to him, saw him in a store, street, something, somewhere, somehow?
We do. The person we believe to be the killer on the High Bridge has been enhanced as best as it can be enhanced. That's him.
This is the property that the memorial for our girls, Abby and Libby. We're going to put a park here, a local family here. The Horn family donated some property to make this dream become true. In the woods that over there, there's a stream that runs through that, so there'll be a bridge to cross over that. There's going to be room for a few ball fields, softball fields. There's going to be an amphitheater in it. There's going to be a walking trail around it, soccer fields to be put out there. We want some shelter houses and picnic tables. The girls were taken from us way too early, and this is a way to give back, and we're going to keep their memory alive.
Have you had any persons of interest, sir?
We have. I can't talk about those folks that might be identified as persons of interest right now, but everyone was a suspect until they're not.
Uh-huh.
We've managed over 26,000 tips from around the country, and those tips continue to come in.
And you've been non-specific about how the actual crime was committed, the manner of death, correct?
Yes, yes.
And because as far as the media, that would be only known to the killer.
That is correct.
But you do know how it occurred, correct?
We do, yes,
Okay.
we do.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.